What's that word? What's that? I said, what's that word, relatives? How goes it? How's it been? It's been a minute. I know. You ain't gotta ask me, it's been a minute. You ain't gotta tell me it's been a minute. We're gonna start off. Or this one is gonna be about the chief, the lady chief of Cofitachequi. And without further ado, we're gonna jump right in. Yeah, we're gonna jump right in there. I said we're gonna jump right in there. Let's get that pronunciation one time. Cofitachequi. 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 Right. There go your pronunciation right there. Cofitachequi. Let's go up top. That's what we're gonna do. Tribe. Band up, tribe up. Get it together. So I was just scrolling through one day and I was like, well, what should I do? I need to look up something. I'm feeling inspired. So let's start off with copper tip weapons with the pearl inlays. Have to see what's to this gunsmith business. Bear with me, might take the beaten path. Wasn't no guns way back then. Oh no, you don't get way back then when I inform you how long ago this was. Follow me at Servant Keith. Yeah, I'm learning to build and pop off with me. The chiefdom of Cofitachequi, we had him on lock, but Hernando de Soto and his boys snatched him up along with Chief, man. After they received plentiful hospitality, robbed them blind, and you know how that goes. After the lady of Cofitachequi and her people treated them exceptionally. The lady of Cofitachequi was indeed the chief. Many tribes had goddesses for chiefs. Forgot to mention how she royally pulled up on De Soto. Her feet never touched the ground, but she had her warriors armed ready for whatever with a little boat. There's a little boat right there. You see a little boat? Boom shakalaka. Little boat. The mother of pearl. Let's go check it out. This is the mother of pearl. There you are. 1864 is dated, huh? A hijack. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. Here we are. Let's zoom in a little for you. Can you see that? Copper tip weapons. Pearl inlay. It's all pearl right here. All that pearl. All that pearl. All that white you see pearl. That's pearl, bro. That's pearl. Oh, yeah, you bow and arrows and all that good stuff. Continuing. Moral of the post is I'm bringing the copper tip weapons with pearl inlay all the way back. All the way back. This was a needed motivation. Ancestors knew I would know what to do with this intel. Eagle, sword, bow and arrow. Fling. Got a crossbow on me. Yeah, you can buy this. You know what I mean? They put it right in front of your face. A mother of pearl inlay long gun. Long gun. Or Zephardar. 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 The Zephardar. The Western Balkans. Herzegovina. Montenegro. Dated 1864. I-864. That's why I always like to go with that I-8. Because I'm like, I like to go with the 1900s because we can step on their neck with that proof. Ugh. Yeah. And that was into that post right there. Copper tip weapons with the pearl inlays is where I got the Cofitachequi at. Bang. Just straight like that. That thing is. But I do need to get to it. So let me hurry up and pop off. Cofitachequi, ethno-historical and archaeological evidence. University of South Carolina. Ooh. Scholar Commons. Ooh. Colorado. Jeez, I'm everywhere. Yeah. The South Carolina Institute of Archaeology and Anthropology. During the summer of 1670. Oh, wait. Cofitachequi, ethno-historical and archaeological evidence. Chester B. DePrater. During the summer of 1670, Henry Woodward made a trek inland from the newly founded English colony at Charlestown to the Indian town of Cofitachequi. Although Woodward did not leave a narrative account of this expedition, we have available several contemporary sources which provide some details of his visit. In order to reach Cofitachequi, Woodward traveled 14 days to the northwest from Charlestown, stopping to seek peace with chiefs or petty caciques. Woodward referred to the chief of Cofitachequi as the emperor, and there were reported to be 1,000 bowmen in his town. Woodward convinced the emperor to visit the English settlement, and after a delay caused by an attack on Charlestown shipping by several Spanish vessels, the emperor and his entourage arrived for a state visit in mid-September. And this is going to be a long one, but I'm going to make sure I make it a strong one, you feel me? Following this brief interaction with the chief of Cofitachequi apparently endured only a brief relationship with these newly arrived settlers. During the spring of 1672, the emperor was again in Charlestown for what we know about Cofitachequi. It being my fortune to be gone upon ye discovery of fruitful province where ye emperor reside, yea, a country so delicious. A country is so delicious. It's so delicious, pleasant and fruitful. Yet, were cultivated, doubtless, it would prove a second paradise. Henry Woodward, Chavez, 1897, 6 I-86. E. The history of the Cofitachequi would be truly enigmatic if we had only these few passing references to the history of this powerful Indian society that lived in interior South Carolina. The Cacs. There's no south, there's no north. It's the Cacs. It's the Cacs all over the place. Just one Cac. It's one Dakota. But there have been many Europeans at Cofitachequi prior to Woodward's visit. I said there have been many Europeans at Cofitachequi prior to Woodward's visit. Hernando de Soto and his followers were there in 1540, and they may have been preceded by members of the 1526 Alon expedition. Find me Alon in America. Give you $5. Spanish Captain Juan Pardo and his force of 125 soldiers visited Cofitachequi in 1566 during their attempt to open an overland route to Mexico from the Atlantic coast, but they're not very far from each other. No, sir. No, ma'am. In 1568, Pardo established a small fort there, leaving a contingent of 30 soldiers in an outpost that was overrun by the local Indians within a year. Outpost overrun by the local Indians within a year. Another small Spanish expedition traveled through the region in 1627 to 1628. Like I said, man, this could have been 1927, 1928. You can flip that 6, they interchangeable, huh? And the only Indian place name mentioned in accounts of this expedition is Cofitachequi, Rojas y Borja, 1628. Clearly, Cofitachequi was an important place throughout the early historic period. For the time before the Spanish arrived in the southeast, we must turn to archaeology. They always need archaeology for us. Mind you, if you pay attention, they always need archaeology for us. The Egyptian pharaohs. We can stop there. It's always archaeology for us. But nah, when they say they're the founding fathers, they just give you a book, say, hey, this is the Declaration of Independence. Do you declare your U.S. citizen? Well, chill out, man. To supply answers to our questions concerning the origin and development of the chiefdom of Cofitachequi. Now I got something else in here. Let me go ahead and find that other drop I had found in here. That ain't gonna take me that long. Hang on, give me a second. It's called Upaha, where a woman chieftainess ruled over a territory rich in gold. Upaha turned out to be another name for Cofitachequi. Based on the information provided by this boy, De Soto turned north away from the coast in quest of Upaha. He traveled across what is today Georgia, arriving on the banks of a river at Okut. And remember that. Okut, remember that. What else you need to remember? You need to remember travels, and we're going everywhere, and this place is named this is that. Remember Georgia. Always on my mind, Georgia. Always on my mind. Let's run it up. Zoom it in a little. In early April 1540, make sure I got that right. I got a cute Okut C figure, okay. In early April 1540, Smith and Kowalewski, 1980, Hudson Smith and DePrater, 1984, upon arriving in Okuti, De Soto inquired about Upaha or Cofitachequi. He was told that Cofitachequi was located further to the east across a wilderness that contained neither trails, Indian towns, nor food supplies. The Indians of Akut described another large and populous province called Kusa, located inland to the northwest. You know about Kusa? It's a kingdom. Yeah, it's a kingdom. But De Soto was not to be distracted in his quest for Cofitachequi and his chieftainess. Remember this. De Soto gathered together supplies and bearers for a trek across the wilderness that lay between Okute and Cofitachequi. And in mid-April, he departed from Cofacqui, heading east with the trading boy P. Rico as his only guide. P. Rico soon lost his way and claimed to be, and they claimed he was possessed by the devil. Sheesh, when we all possessed? That's crazy, huh? What are the chances, huh? An exorcism was held and P. Rico recovered, but the expedition was by then lost in an uninhabited region without trails, and that's how they gonna take your stuff, bro. It's uninhabited, right? It's got a region without trails, right? We're gonna put a wildlife park right there for you, right about there. Where that region doesn't have any trails, we're gonna put it right there. There you go. The expedition spent 10 days crossing this wilderness, finally reaching a small hamlet called Eme that provided enough corn to temporarily supply the starving expeditionaries with food. Cofitachequi was reported to be only 2 days' journey from Eme. 2 days. Maybe she just didn't feel like it that day. Yeah, you know what I mean? Maybe she was not even on her way. Because that could be a lot of different ways you can interpret that message, but I want to interpret it this way. She wasn't worried about what was going over there. Give me my tribute. After only a brief rest, De Soto and a small contingent moved upstream toward Cofitachequi, soon reaching the riverbank opposite its main town. De Soto was greeted there by the woman chief who crossed the river in canoes specially outfitted for her use. Remember, her feet never touched the ground, fam. She's crossing rivers, bro. You think man, check it out. She welcomed the Spaniards to her territory and presented De Soto with a string of pearls. Soon thereafter, the army was ferried across the river, and the soldiers were housed. The soldiers were housed in half of the houses in the town of Cofitachequi. So I mean, they was just jumping the gun, wasn't they? They was just getting places to place, boy. They had nothing else. What else was they gonna do? They couldn't go back to Spain, you know what I mean? De Soto immediately began questioning the chieftainess and her subjects about the gold they were reported to possess. You know, they love that gold. Why ain't there no gold in Spain? No, that's really a real question. Why ain't there no gold in Spain? Let's learn about it later. They were reported to possess all this gold, and De Soto wanted it. The chieftainess had samples of all of the metals and precious minerals found in her territory brought before De Soto for inspection, but they included only copper, mica, and pearls, or you could say mica, whatever you want to say, and not the gold and silver the Spaniards got. Varner and the Spaniards sought. I said the Spaniards sought the gold and silver. The chieftainess then offered to allow the Spaniards to inspect the contents of her temple run that contained many pearls and other objects of interest. In the temple of Cofitachequi, De Soto found more than 200 pounds of pearls and an abundance of deer skins. He also found a variety of European items, including a knife for dirt, glass beads, rosaries, and Biscayan axes, fam. There's a lot happening over there in the Cax, man. Tayshawn, what up, though? You get too easy. All members of the expedition agreed that these materials must have originated from Alon's 1526 expedition to the nearby Atlantic coast. Okay, in the temple of Talimeco, an abandoned town located a leaf from Cofitachequi. Can you find Talimeco today? Over there, popping off and what have you. So let me go and pull this over there. Oh, they made it a state park, huh? Oh, but that's in Oklahoma, and that's Talimeco. Yeah, first thing that pop up is Cofitachequi. But I am gonna be leaving this link in the chat, the comments. Yeah, I'll send it to the Discord. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm putting in the Discord first. If you ain't in the Discord, you need to join. And here we are with a map. Here we are with a map, I said. You got places like Vnokeckv, Guacuri, Joara, Shiaha, Toke. It's okay. Savannah River, PD River, Cofitachequi, it's right there. Pop off. So if you got some PD, PD folks, and you got some Cofitachequi in folks, we got Amen. I know Chapman Milling has to say, and then we're gonna be out of here. We're gonna be out of this link at least. Doubtless more scholarly speculation has been expended upon attempts to trace the route of Hernando de Soto than upon any comparable problem in American history. This fancy document, respecting most of the points upon this route, everyone who has attempted an interpretation seems to have arrived at a different conclusion upon one locality. However, recent authorities are in substantial agreement. I refer to the town and province of Cofitachequi. Although estimates may vary by a few miles, it is now generally thought to have been situated on the eastern bank of the Savannah River, some distance below the fall line. Some scholars speculate that Cofitachequi politically controlled a cluster of towns around present-day Camden, an 80 to 100 mile stretch of the watery river in vicinity in South Carolina, and a similar portion of the PD River, 130 to 160 kilometers. Right here we have the Catawba and Watery River. Duke Energy. You know about Duke Energy, right? You know what I mean? You know what happens anytime Duke get their hands on anything, then you get damned out. Oh, the town's gone. You're not gonna find that town, huh? You look at typing it in your GPS said you arrived at your destination. They be like, you want me to jump in the water? No, I don't want you to jump in the water. It should be right here. Oh man, that's the Watery River. The Watery River, about 75 miles, 120 kilometers long, is a tributary of the Santee River in central South Carolina in the United States, which flows to the Atlantic Ocean. It was named for the Watery Native Americans, a tribe who had migrated to this area from western North Carolina, and they're always going to call you a Native American. Bless your heart. You want them to call you an American Indian? They're not. They have people on those reservations already pretending to be you, fam. Not that. Now they're pretending to be you, and I say that because why aren't you getting, benefits? You struggling? Why you gotta struggle? No, so they're gonna call you a native. It's not right. That's not what you was called. They lived here until the early 18th century, when they were set upon and displaced by mostly English settlers during the Yamasee War. Survivors merged with the larger Catawba people, becoming extinct as a tribe. You tribe up, you become extinct, but you're not extinct. You're still here. Some people just, they want to leave America so bad and put that thought in their head that they are. I like to believe I'm from everywhere. I feel in one life I did live other places. I wasn't just born in Colorado, nah, because I bond with a lot of places. Tribes, we tribed up. There's a lot of tribes running through me. You know what I mean? Bloodline. That's bloodline talk. But survivors merged with the Catawba people, becoming extinct as a tribe. Now, did you become extinct because you merged with the Catawba, or did you become extinct because the Watery River is a continuation of the Catawba River, which flows from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina? This river had the different names of Catawba and Watery assigned to different sections by different groups of settlers. Oh my God, they came through naming your stuff too. I wouldn't be mad. Don't be mad. Today, the name change is marked at the point where Watery Creek empties into Lake Watery. This is a man-made lake formed by Watery Hydro Station. Damn. A Duke Energy hydroelectric project built in the 20th century in Kershaw County, South Carolina. The Watery flows generally southward through Kershaw County and along the common boundary of Rich Land and Sumter counties. Rich Land, past the Piedmont town of Camden, it joins the Congaree River, Conga, to form the Santee River, about 35 miles, 55 kilometers southeast of Columbia. So we got Camden right here, right? We got Congaree right here, right? Columbia right here, right? Can we prove right now that maybe the Cofitachequis had a hand in building something like this here? There you go. It's a building. You happy? Columbia, though. Like, wow, that's a big place out there, man. And I'm gonna go back to these pictures real quick, see if we can't see nothing. Boom. There go your damn. This. Hey, what was in here? What was in this? It began generating power in October 19, but what, you know what I mean? Yeah, watery, 20th century, built in about 1900s. That's what I'm saying. These 1900s is crazy, because how do we not know that all this happened right recently, right? And then this looks like a big tank. Vnokeckv Watery Operating License highlights the benefits of cooperation between the company and communities. What does this mean? Trivia. I know what the communities mean. Them tribes, bro. They need cooperation from you. Yeah, they done ran through your stuff. Gorgeous water. Native women in history, the lady of Cofitachequi, you're always going to be native to them. And here go my tribe right here. You feel me? Cofitachequi was a province of Muskogean speaking Indian people. So you native or you Indian? They interchange those things, but some people go to bat for it. They not interchangeable. Nigga, you either Indian or you a Native American. You either down with the program or you hijacking the program. You know what I mean? And these people have been doing this for hundreds of years. You're not gonna change their mind because you got good documents or something. You know what I mean? You gotta stand on that. Watch this. Located in what is now South Carolina, in the area bordered by the Santee, Watery, and Petey rivers. Learned of it from the people they encountered and captured. An Indian man enslaved by the Spaniards told them of an area ruled by a powerful chief. His description contained many elements of Mississippian culture, including earthen mounds. Check this out. Remember this. Remember Mississippian, okay? Earthen mounds. Hernando de Soto's army landed on the Gulf Coast of Florida and began an assault on the southeastern Indians, looking for riches to plunder. During their march through Florida, they captured a young Indian boy they called P. Rico. Then we learned about P. Rico. He was a trader from a town in the chiefdom of Cofitachequi. He told the Spaniards that Cofitachequi was ruled by a female chief. He told them, who collected tribute from the towns in the chiefdom, and they sometimes paid in gold. P. Rico convinced them that the riches they were seeking would be found there, and he could lead them to it. De Soto made plans for the army to head to Cofitachequi. Funny how there's always this army. In the spring of 1540, De Soto plundered his way from Florida through the area we now call Georgia. Just now we started. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And on the Cofitachequi, on May 1st, the army arrived at one of the major towns of Cofitachequi, located on the Watery River, now known as the Mulberry Site. They met a delegation of the ruling class, and with P. Rico acting as interpreter. De Soto told them that he came in peace and wanted to meet the chief. I come in peace. I want to meet the chief. All right, bro. Back up. You can give her 50 feet. Oh, you know what that is? Do you know who that is? A short time later, a woman the army's chroniclers called the Lady of Cofitachequi arrived, carried on a litter covered with a white cloth carried. Is men doing this? Is your girl's feet touching the ground? They described her as extremely beautiful. P. Rico told De Soto this woman was the niece of the female paramount chief of Cofitachequi, and she had come to the town to deal with some of the principal men who were refusing to pay tribute. P. Rico may have been trying to protect the lady by telling the Spaniards she wasn't the chief, but several of De Soto's chroniclers considered her to be the paramount chief. P. Rico telling you she the niece, but the chroniclers like, nah, she the paramount chief. She coming to us with gifts. She welcomed De Soto and presented him with gifts of animal skins, cloth, and freshwater pearls. She then set aside half of the town for the use of the army and gave them food, including turkey and venison. Before we read more into that, let me show y'all something real quick. Watch this. I'm just about to show y'all some hijack real quick. Alright, so check it out, right? We got a future pope, right? A little priest. And then we got the army. And then we got Cofitachequi. What's wrong with this picture? What do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there could be some men back there. But what if these is her men back here and you can't even see their heads, they so tall. So we got, again, 7 men, right? And these is all the pearls. Boom. The Lady of Cofita. I mean, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Like, how we not know this was all recent? This could have been just yesterday. The world is a stage, fam. And the sooner you know that, the better. De Soto then asked about the precious metals and gemstones he had been told could be found at Cofitachequi. The lady commanded the people of the town to bring all they had. They brought freshwater pearls, copper, sheets of mica. This disappointed the army. They expected to find gold, silver. Then the Spaniards began looting the mortuary temples. That's what they still do today. They still looting mortuary temple, where the bodies of the dead were kept stored in wooden caskets, taking more than 200 pounds. Not asking, not paying for at your local like jewelry store. They're taking them. I said they took more than 200 pounds. When they had taken everything of value they could find, they had the lady of Cofitachequi lead them to her town, Talimeco. And I was just looking into that. Talimeco. I don't think so. We need to go harder. Bowie and an Indian friend make up a wild story to trick a crooked storekeeper who is cheating Bowie's friend Sam McCullers, but their plan backfires. Bowie then enlists Sam's daughter Rachel in an attempt to clean up the mess. Metaphors? About 4 miles away, again, they looted the mortuary places of everything they wanted. The army needed food to take along on their march, and they wanted corn, but Cofitachequi had been depopulated by disease 2 years earlier, probably brought by earlier European slavers and explorers, so the Indians didn't have a large supply on hand. De Soto sent out parties from the army to find all the corn they could carry. See how they do that? But we know we're in the region of Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas, the Cax, Florida. Pop off with me. We're about to get real sticky. Watch this. Here goes some real intel you can use. You feel me? Let's check out this picture. Shout out Yos. Burning of the Spanish camp at Chickasaw. Shout out Yos, man. Burning of the Spanish camp at Chickasaw. What do you see here? Brothers look a little dark skinned, don't they? Praise God. And you see them getting busy. This is the typical story. They look a little dark skinned though, if you ask me. I mean, they look, look like they kind of got lighted out, but all in all, you know what's going on. Like, you look at the Cax region, you look at, Mississippi culture, Mississippian culture. Like, you look at Mississippi, what you gonna find? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. De Soto stayed in Cofitachequi for 12 days. How many 12? How many disciples? Pop off. The army eating most of the food in the province. By this time, the people of Cofitachequi had enough. I mean, man, they had enough of the Spaniards and were threatening to take action against them. Not no lawsuit about mount up. Nah, you just want to talk about it some more, right? You just want to play cat and mouse, huh? Copper tip with the pearl inlay don't do nothing for you, okay? How about a gold tip with the silver inlay? No, diamonds. How about crystals? Soto took the lady at Cofitachequi hostage. Now, how many of us still getting taken hostage today? You better know something. You better tell somebody you know something. You better show somebody you know something. You better do something to inform these that you ain't playing no more. It's over. We still going hostage. I mean, they taking people in the late 1800s, taking people in the late 1900s, they taking people in the early 1700s. They took all your stuff in 1600s. That's why I think it all happened in the 1900s, because they still doing that right now. Pop off. He decided to make his way to a province called Coosa, which he had heard was very rich and might have an adequate supply of corn. The army headed for Coosa, taking along the lady, along with the contingent of her attendants as hostage and guide. Coosa lay to the west of Cofitachequi, but instead of leading De Soto on the direct route, the lady led the army to the northwest, toward the mountains in the province of Chalakwe, hoping to get them lost. Chalaki, it could be anywhere. It was twang sounded like, you know what I mean? You west coast, okay. You from up north, okay. You over east, all right. You down south, all right. How you gonna pronounce that there? Boom. In the mountains, saying she had to go relieve herself, she took one of her female slaves and escaped, carrying away a chest of valuable pearl. She made her way back to one of the border towns of Cofitachequi, and De Soto never saw her again. When you look at maps and things, you start to see all Mississippi like right around here, right? You know what I mean? Like it's not that far. Like you could be right over here. We got Coosa, Tuscaloosa, Cofitachequi, Okute, Joara. That's what we do. That's what we do. I said that's what we do. But remember how light-skinned Cofitachequi was looking? She over here looking all pale. She look real pale right here. Look at her. Boom. Check this out though. Y'all. I got one. Uncovering it, bro. Real research, you know what I mean? She looked like a light-skinned honey, huh? One of them light-skinned honeys you knew back in the day, right? Now she a mom, you know what I mean? She a big sister. Her sister's done grown up. You see what I mean? Now they all out there helping get the corn, the maid, you know what I mean? They're getting everything done. And here she is, just bring it all to me. I'ma share it. 5 feathers strong. She got the pearls on her neck. I'm done playing. This is the University of South Carolina Press. We don't do all that arguing over sources. Now I'll pull it up for you. I ain't got time to play with you. If I look hard enough, I'm gonna find what you need. But yeah, all of this leads back to that Mississippian culture thing I was talking about. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Page 4. The DeSoto expedition passed on through Chiaja and Coosa and ultimately explored most of what is today the southeastern United States. Yeah, who down south the most? Yeah, who down south? Check this out. DeSoto died on the banks of the Mississippi River in 1542, and the surviving members of the expedition ultimately reached Mexico in September 1543. Y'all know what they came to do in Mexico. Y'all know what they do, Mexica. Cofitachequi Kingdom close to Mississippi, and it's close to Georgia, and it's close to, it's in all these places. Like no more putting it in one spot. No, it's a kingdom, bro. Empires don't just stay in one. They move around. They pop off. And that's what I wanted to do for y'all. This was a blast. Y'all know how we do. We definitely gets it in. We get it in because we have to. Okay? We have to because ain't nobody else gonna do this for us. Get some of these books: Knights of Spain, Warriors of the Sun, The Southeastern Indians, Myths, History, and Sacred Formulas of the Cherokee. We gonna end it right off on her, Cofitachequi, the emperor, the female emperor. They said it couldn't be done. She done came and did it. But all right, y'all stay frosty, tribe up, wise up, get it in. Don't let nobody knock you off your square. Pivot, shake, slip, knot, 2 jabs to the face. 8/28/2023, 10:15 p.m. It's been real. Plenty more videos coming. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate everybody for coming through. We out.